What if I told you that if you learn this technique, you will be able to manifest anything you want doing this only once? The technique I'm talking about is the SATS technique from the great law of assumption teacher Neville Goddard, a manifestation technique that utilizes the state akin to sleep. The technique works like this. You actively try to induce a state of sleepiness without falling asleep, aka state akin to sleep, and then you visualize a short scene with your desired reality until you reach the feeling of your desire being yours in that very moment. But beware. This needs a lot of mental focus and for most people a high level of practice because our TikTok brains have a hard time focusing longer than a few seconds before getting bored and wanting more stimulation. So don't be discouraged if it doesn't go as intended the first few times. I talk from personal experience when I say that it will get easier. Now, I want to tell you in detail how Neville Goddard uses this technique or used this technique. To induce a drowsy state, you have to sit in a chair and relax, almost like drifting towards sleep, but not quite. It's important not to go too far into sleep where you lose control of your focus. You have to maintain control over your intention. And if you do this successfully, you will reach a point just before sleep where you become drowsy and light, where you get a sense of detachment from the external world. And in this state, the subconscious mind is receptive to suggestions and is more open for creative visualization, making it an ideal state for manifesting your desires. Now you stop and hold onto that state, and without moving your body, visualize a 3 to 5 second long scene of your liking over and over and over again without letting your attention drift away. If your mind wanders away, gently guide it back to this scene that you visualize. And you do this until you feel your manifestations being real with your 5 senses. Feel it being yours in that very moment. After successfully feeling it, you let it go, in the knowledge that it's done. Best falling asleep. Don't try to force it or start checking your 3D obsessively. It is done. It will come. And when I say try to feel your manifestations being real, this feeling I'm talking about can be a feeling of gratefulness, being fulfilled or thankful, a knowing feeling, a relief, a certainty, or as I've read somewhere, the feeling of an answered prayer, which I find beautifully put, or even ecstatically happy. All of these emotions mean that your subconscious got successfully impressed by your input. It is done. It may take a few times to get to this feeling stage, but once you feel it, you feel it. You cannot unfeel it. It is done. Somehow, some way, it will be yours in your 3D. Never think or worry about the how, no matter which technique you use. Never think or worry about the how. Just assume it done. And as Neville Goddard said, we can think about something forever and never see it in our world. But once we feel it's real, we are bound to encounter it. The more intensely we feel it, the sooner we will encounter it. What you persistently feel becomes real. Reality mirrors your feelings, sometimes instantly, sometimes after a certain time, but always. It never fails to work. We all regard feelings far too much as effects and not sufficiently as causes of the events of the day. We are all far too undisciplined in our feelings. Instead of just hoping, we have to always apply faith and consider it done. Faith is the opposite of hoping. We know it's done. So never hope, always have faith. Hoping harder doesn't make it easier or more possible. Feeling it does. Believing it does. Having faith does. Now let's talk about the scene you will visualize during SATS. It has to be in first person, meaning don't see yourself in the scene as a person, but rather like a POV game from your perspective. Think about what would make it clear that you achieved your desire. Keep it simple and natural. Here are some easy examples to guide you. First, imagine a conversation where someone congratulates you. For example, picture telling your mom, "Mom, I did it," and your mom says, "Oh, honey, I'm so proud of you. And then you say, thanks, mom, couldn't have done without you, or something like that. Second, if you struggle to visualize people, imagine yourself chatting on the phone or texting. Say something like, guess what, I got it. Hear yourself say that, don't visualize yourself. And your friend says, oh my God, congrats. And then you say, yes, super excited, I can't believe it, or something like that. And put something in there that makes it clear what you're manifesting. Like if it's money, say something about money. If it's a relationship, say something about your SP. And the third technique is eavesdropping. Imagine yourself in a familiar setting, a coffee shop, a park, your home. Visualize yourself sitting nearby but out of sight, as if you're eavesdropping on a conversation. Create the dialogue of the conversation as if someone is talking about you, having whatever it is that you desire. Make them say, hey, have you heard about that Jessica girl? She got married in Bali with this magnificent wedding to this magnificent guy, I don't know. And then the other person says, yeah, I did. I saw that. I saw pictures on social media. It looked like a fairy tale wedding, and so on and so forth. Make your own scene. Make it feel natural to you. Now we go on to troubleshooting problems. If you have problems getting into SATS, think about what you've been doing lately. If you've been on your phone a lot, your brain might be too busy to chill out. Like limit your phone time before going to bed. I noticed that when I spent a bunch of time on my phone, it took way longer to get into SATS. But on days where I didn't overstimulate my mind with things like TikTok or Instagram Reels, it is so much easier to get into SATS. And some lifestyle changes that can help you get into SATS much easier are having a regular sleeping schedule so that your body knows when it's time to wind down. Try to avoid coffee and sugar before bedtime. They can mess with your sleep. Keep your thoughts positive about SATS and manifesting. Yes, SATS can be harder than other techniques, but it's not impossible and you can do it. It just needs a little practice, okay? Don't have these limiting beliefs about it. Keep it positive, you can do it. And if you don't want to do it as a nighttime visualization because you instantly fall asleep, then do it as a daytime thing. Just pick a time in the day where you have time for it and sit down somewhere and try to induce the SATS state. You are living your dream life right now. Act like it. Like and subscribe if you want more content like this. I love you. Bye.